Hey everyone, this is Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology. Happy Monday, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at Mars conjoining Uranus in the sign of Taurus. At last, it is here. Today is the day. And we're going to take a look at all 12 whole sign house horoscopes in order to remind ourselves of the topics that are most likely being activated by the transit of Mars and Uranus in your birth chart. So I recommend listening for your rising sign, which will place the transit of Mars and Uranus into the actual whole sign house that it's traveling through in your birth chart right now. Of course, that's a whole sign house birth chart, but that's the closest you're going to get to the location of your birth chart if you're using a quadrant-based house system. If you already use whole sign, then no sweat. But so that's what I recommend. You could listen to your sun sign as well, whatever you like. But we're going to do that in order to get a sense of what topics are being activated by this very powerful conjunction today. We have said a lot about the nature of the conjunction over the past couple of weeks. If you go back in videos, you want to know more about the archetypal meaning and combination, you can look back at those videos. So today is just kind of quick hit horoscopes to remind us of where this is taking place. Before we get into it, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds when you click the subscribe button. The like button helps the channel to grow, helps people to find us. The statistics show us that a huge amount of people who watch this channel do not subscribe. We need those people to turn into subscribers so that we can grow the channel, grow the business. It really helps. So thanks for taking a little time, if you have it, to click the subscribe button. You can find transcripts of any of these daily talks on the website, nightlightastrology.com. I want to take you over there to promote upcoming event. This week is the next in my live monthly webinar series. Click on live talks under the events page. Tab there, excuse me, and you'll see Uranus in Gemini. That's this Thursday, July 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you can't attend live, we send you the recording afterward. We are going to be talking about the meaning of Uranus in Gemini, which is one of the major transits of 2025. It's not too early to start prepping for that. We looked at Neptune in Aries, which is also a major 2025 transit a little bit ago. These are era-defining transits, and so it is good to start looking at them carefully. So with that in mind, I hope to see some of you there this Thursday night. If you can't make it live, we do send you the recording afterward. So now let's turn our attention to the Mars-Uranus conjunction that is present today. So I'm going to put the real-time clock up on the chart, up on the screen, excuse me. And you'll see here, we're going to start with Aries. Here is Mars and Uranus together at last. We've been watching this slowly build over the course of the last month or so. And if we flash this forward one day, by tomorrow you will see that Mars has crossed Uranus and is about half a degree past the exact conjunction. And it really gets to about a full degree of separation by Wednesday of this week. Give it that 3-degree range by about Saturday of this week, switching into Gemini over the upcoming weekend, where then we really feel the separation in a more final way. So, and then we're coming at that point right into our full moon by the end of this week, which will be almost conjoined with Pluto, and then the sun will oppose Pluto. So then we have Mercury square Uranus. We've got a lot more to come this month. So, but this is arguably the biggest transit of the month, the conjunction of Mars and Uranus. So we're going to just give you some reminders by whole sign houses. And this is assuming that you're using the rising sign, but you can listen for any of these if you prefer your sun or your moon or what have you. As I always like to say, the benefit of listening for your rising sign is that in the whole sign house version of your birth chart, this will correlate with the actual house position of the transiting planets. So on that note, let's start with Aries. We're just going to roll through these quickly. So for Aries rising, this conjunction happening today, tomorrow, starting to die down as the week goes on, takes place in your second house. That means that we are talking about a kind of forceful breakthrough, revolution, a breaking from norms with respect to things like resources, money, the cultivation of assets and resources, the shifting or changing of what you have or what you rely on. So think about changes in who or what act as support for you, or the kinds of things that you're in the process of cultivating as assets or resources, a shift or change in how you use your time, money, energy, and resources. Those are the kinds of things that come to mind for Aries out there. If you are a Taurus rising, I'm one of the Taurus rising club. Your Taurus rising, this breakthrough is coming with respect to identity, health, body. It is coming with respect to the process of individuation, of making important changes that affect how you live and how you think about who you are. This is about a need for breakthrough in terms of your personal idea or concept. It is also about a shift in terms of health and body, or mentality. So, very personal, existential, physical for Tauruses because of the first house placement. If we go to Geminis, we now take the Mars Uranus quality, we put it into the 12th house. This is a unconscious place. So breakthroughs, revolutions that happen due to the unconscious speaking and making itself known or present. This might be a part of you that is not easy to see, and yet it is demanding to be seen and known and integrated consciously. Could that be a destructive part of yourself? Could it be a creative part of yourself? Could it be a stuck, kind of blocked part of yourself? There's different ways of thinking about what it means for Mars Uranus to be appearing, so to speak, in the blind spot or an unconscious dimension of yourself. But whatever the case might be, something is demanding to be seen, and it is popping up from a more unseen place. A revolution occurring through the appearance or manifestation of unconscious material is the way that I would look at this for Geminis. Now, for Cancer rising. Cancer rising places the Mars-Uranus conjunction into the 11th house, friends, allies, groups. When you have a revolution here, this could mean changes within existing groups, organizations, or social structures that you belong to. This could also mean that you are breaking out or individuating or separating yourself from different groups of people for various reasons. This could be about creative breakthroughs with respect to allies and friends. This could be about sudden, unexpected departures or transitions that are occurring within various networks, or even the need to break free from certain people or groups that have been allies. Creative changes with respect to the social vision of your life, the social fabric of your life, which may be also linked to the professional fabric of your life. So kind of revolution in that area of friends and groups. For Leos, the revolutionary activity of Mars Uranus, the sort of forceful change and breakthrough, is coming in the 10th house of your public, visible, your sort of public reputation, your forward societal facing self. And this has to do with breakthroughs in career or vocation, or the need to emancipate yourself from a workplace environment that's not the right one. This is about creative breakthroughs, revolution, and the impulse toward creativity and originality happening within the sphere of your public identity or your professional identity. So think about that if you are a Leo rising. All right, let's head on. Virgos. If you're a Virgo, this is taking place in your 9th house, which is the place of your beliefs. These are your thought structures and your belief structures, your paradigms of understanding. This is the place of wisdom and the house of higher learning. This is the place that we go to seek out the gods or divinity. This is a place of foreign travel, long journeys. And so Mars-Uranus here speaks to a kind of revolution that is happening with respect to places of learning and education, places of religion and travel. And so could there be a kind of revolutionary moment, a breakthrough with respect to your beliefs, how you see the world, teachers, educational environments, exciting original breakthroughs that are provided through travel or journeying to foreign places? These are the kind of exciting dimensions of the Mars-Uranus conjunction in the 9th house. So Virgos, watch for that. For Libras, we see that Mars-Uranus is happening in the 8th house. This is the place of soul contracts with other people. And so this could mean that there are a need to break free from or emancipate yourself from various bonds or bondage that tie you to other people in relationships of give and take. And it might be that certain soul contracts are ready to be broken apart, or that you are seeking freedom from various sort of karmic contractual obligations to other people or other places. This could literally be paying off a debt or freeing yourself from some kind of bondage. It could also be about the breakthrough that happens when you find yourself bonding to someone new with some exciting opportunity that comes as a way of freeing you up. Like sometimes people come into our lives and bring in assets or resources that we can join ourselves to that will have a freeing or liberating effect. That is something to keep your eye on as well. So watch for the exchanges in relationships and some shifting in relationships such that the give and take patterns are dramatically different. All right, for Scorpios, Scorpio rising, this places the Mars-Uranus dynamic in the 7th house of love and relationships. This could mean that there are very important breakthroughs that you're having in your intimate sphere of relationships. Any kind of intimate relationship, really, but obviously marriage and love and romance come to mind. This is a breakthrough that could be exciting, original, creative, sexual. Like the liberation here could be wonderful. At the same time, Mars-Uranus could mean that there are sudden disruptions or erratic energy breaks or struggles of power or clashes of will that result in two people needing to go their separate ways. So you want to watch for the revolutionary impulse and energy coming through the sphere of intimate relationships if you're a Scorpio rising. We move on to Sagittarius and we see Mars-Uranus in the 6th house. 6th house is really the chop wood, carry water house of the wheel. And so when Mars and Uranus get together here, we think about how do we work in order to set ourselves free? A lot of people, for example, adopt the paradigm that if I work hard enough and I build a career, I build a business, I build enough wealth or success, that I will earn my way toward liberation. Could there be some process of harvesting the hard work that you've done such that you're experiencing some kind of breakthrough? Because you have worked and labored towards something over recent years and you have been working to free yourself, now comes a moment of greater freedom and release from some kind of work or kind of like bondage. The 6th house is a place where we are sort of in bondage to a process of work or sacrifice. Could this be a moment of being liberated from some form of work, duty, or sacrifice? No longer do you need to sacrifice, right? On that level, Mars-Uranus could also be speaking to a kind of process of measuring the results of something and saying, is it worth it? Is it worth all the work and energy and activity, or do I need to set myself free and just stop doing it? I would also look at this as what is worth fighting or sacrificing for, and some impulse or energy that comes through that makes us feel like we need to pour more of our heart, our soul, our work, our energy, our active service and sacrifice towards something we care about. All right. Capricorn rising, we see the Mars-Uranus energy coming through the 5th house, which is a place of creativity. So here we see these two planets coming together and excuse me, needed to take a little coffee break. See these two planets coming together in the house of creativity. And the thing that comes to mind is Capricorns often take up the cross. Their identity is so much about carrying difficult things with hard work and determination, scaling that mountain. But are you having fun doing it? The Mars-Uranus conjunction here to me says, if there isn't a real kind of streak of creative genius and originality pouring through the efforts of your lifetime, then you're going to get burnt out at some point. So I see this as the need for creative energy to speak more loudly or constructively in the lives of our Capricorn risings right now. This could also be about the need to create some kind of meaningful creative disruptions or interludes in your life. All right, so watch for that. Sometimes shifts or changes with respect to kids or children or pregnancy can also come up in the 5th house with that combination. All right, so Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising places Mars-Uranus in the 4th house, where we see emancipation and liberation from stuck or sort of stubborn karma around family, home, roots, property, parents, living environment. The ancestral karma of your life is ready for some kind of breakthrough or emancipation. We also see Mars-Uranus as the potential for the foundation or base of your life, which sometimes literally happens in the home environment you live in with something in the home like needing fixing. But it's about the foundation changing, and there might be a kind of unsteady quality for a minute here and Aquarians may have to sort of get their bearing. But this is about the roots going through some kind of transformation. You could think about it like an analogy would be like a plant that's being repotted and put into a new environment. It's a little disruptive, but maybe more spacious. Ultimately, maybe there's some greater level of freedom, but there's some kind of transplant or disruption of the roots that have to happen in order to get there. So we see that for Aquarians. And then finally, Pisces, we see the Mars-Uranus conjunction coming through in the third house, the local or immediate environment. I think about the mind and the body and the environment around us being a little erratic and unstable, and providing us with some kind of feedback mentally or emotionally, environmentally, that change is needed, that change is necessary. I think it's interesting that Mars will then enter the fourth house, where there will be a long ongoing development of a conjunction with Jupiter. This to me speaks to the need for this kind of Mars-Uranus energy to carry forth into the home environment for Pisceans. The environment is going through some sort of there's some disruptive qualities in the environment, the mind, the body, and that will carry forth into needing to address things in the home. I see that as a kind of sequence because Jupiter is also in August going to be going through a long-standing square from the fourth house to Saturn in the first. Identity and home base, identity and family, identity and roots. These two things are about to come into focus for Pisceans. And I see this Mars-Uranus conjunction as part of that because there's this kind of sense of the ecosystem around you being disturbed or disrupted by the Mars-Uranus event. That will carry forth, in other words, to affect these deeper questions of identity, home, family in the next month. So that is how I'm seeing it for all 12 signs. I hope that you have a good day today. Be safe, be careful of any places you put yourself in that could generate really reactive, it's like don't sit down with people to discuss politics if you know that your sister tends to piss you off when you talk about politics or like whatever the case may be. Be careful not to put yourself in an environment where there is the tendency toward hostility, erratic activity or behavior, triggery stuff. Protect your nervous system, safeguard your serenity, and also allow for the impulse of creativity, change, and revolution to come through and express itself. It's not trying to kill us, but it is trying to create change. And where we place ourselves relative to that energy is a part of our free will, and it's important to be sensitive about it. So with that in mind, I hope you have a great day today, and we will be, I think, further reflecting on this tomorrow as we also start thinking about the other transits that are coming up this month, and there are a number of very big ones. Okay, that's it.